back on the air with Eric and Robin Gagnon, the restaurant brokers. We'd like to thank one of our sponsors, today's restaurant, the Food Service Industry Newspaper. Today's restaurant is the paid newspaper for the food service industry in Georgia and Florida. Their publication is available both in print and online. Today, we're talking about opening a restaurant or operating a restaurant in an airport. We're joined by two key guests. Let's go ahead and get them back on the air and tee off the subject of the change in the industry. I think both of you gentlemen have been associated with this element of the restaurant industry, airport restaurant operations, for a number of years. Carl, how have you seen it change in the past few decades?
Well, when I started back in the late 70s designing airports, almost every single of the airports was dark, looked like a men's club. The food offerings were basically hot dogs and snacks. That was it. So over the years, all the facilities have become more light and airy. All the concessionaires have realized that they need to design for the women traveler as well. So we had to make them light and airy and a little more street side, a little more entertaining for people over that lease line. Because when you're traveling and you're in sensory overload, you only have 3 seconds to make that decision as you're walking past your facility. People want to get to their gate first. So we had to make these things bright, cheerful, great graphics, great design, make people want to swim back upstream to come to these facilities. In the old days, not that long ago though, they were more of a men's club facility. And now it's family friendly, women friendly. Just a great place to just relax, compress, when you get on the flight.
So we went from fast food to now good food fast. Would I be correct, Frank?
Yeah, we still have the sort of famous and favorites that people love. We have a strong relationship with Burger King, and people don't always want a chef-driven restaurant. They want the convenience of something that they know. But even those brands that we deal with, the quick service brands, they do things a little bit different than they have in the past. So we for years we've been called concessionaires, but really we consider ourselves restaurateurs that happen to be doing business in an airport, and our company has reflected that. Over the last probably 3 to 4 years, we've changed to more of a restaurateur type of company. We've hired a number of chefs. We have a lot of people that have never really worked in the airport business that are in a creative development type of capacity. So we have the folks that have been operating our restaurants for numbers and numbers of years. You need that in an airport because you really need to know how to operate it. And we have other folks that are new, from celebrity chef restaurants to major chains that are making decisions and working with our operators to satisfy the public's need for quick food fast, or a chef-driven restaurant, or if you want to have some indulgence, we have that as well. So these folks working with our ops, we develop a real balance, I think, of satisfying the consumer in a better way.
I think that's great. And let me ask you this, because both of you have so much experience. If someone's interested in opening an airport restaurant, where can they go for information, and what advice would you give them as far as just getting started?
Well, I can, from my perspective, we love to talk with people that are interested in doing that. So coming through a company like HMS Host, we're happy to speak to people about it, where there's an opportunity, where there's not. Oftentimes, and it probably is, that some of the folks that are contacting you, we've actually been in their restaurants, and we've considered them to approaching them. So that type of a connection is kind of difficult for us to find. So if it comes through you folks, that'd be great. And as far as information on getting into an airport, you can read the information on airport websites. They oftentimes have explanation on qualifications to get into an airport. That's a good resource. And then just keeping track of local papers, and they oftentimes tell you what's happening in an airport environment. They can tell you when the bid is up. But I think folks really need to understand the investment and the complicated nature of working in an airport by themselves without working with a restaurant company like us.
I think that's great. And did you have anything that you wanted to add to that for us, Paul?
No, just that airports now have become a of the city become little ambassadors, city food ambassador, right at the airport. And HMS Host has done a great job. Most of their larger airports really become a. You want to know what the food is like in that in that city? Go to the airport.
You know, in 20 years ago, no one would have said, go to the airport to eat. That's just an amazing thing that in this period of time, we've seen so many changes come down the pipe.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. It's like doing it for 30 years and watching the evolution, and it really has evolved over that time. It has now become a lot more fun than it was 30 years ago. Dealing with the local celebrity chefs, dealing with the national brands, creating brands for HMS Host. It's become it is an industry like no other.
Yes, so many of us have never been into the city, but how many people in large city transfer at the airport, and they've never been actually to Chicago proper, but they have been to the airport 20 times, and that's the only perception or knowledge of Chicago they have. And now they can, like you said, stop at the airport, get a slice of local culture, and appreciate it, and share it with the rest of the world, and that's also very very unique now. That I think.
We're about to wrap up this segment, but I want to ask both of you to do me a favor and tell our listeners, if you would, and Frank, I'll start with you, if you would give the website and contact address for HMS Host, so if someone would like to speak to you or someone in your group at an airport restaurant, how can they connect with you?
The best way to get information on our business and connect is to go to www.hmshost.com. It tells a little bit about our company, the brands that we deal with, and there's a link on that website that'll take you to business development opportunities, and that's the way that we vet folks. It gives them information, gives them the contact, so that's the best way to do it for us.
And Carl, very quickly, what's your web address?
www.ideationdesign.com.
Ah, that's fabulous. You guys are just right on the money today. That's all the time we have for this segment on airport restaurants, but it has really been fascinating, and we are definitely going to surprise and excite our listeners with what they've learned today. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with our third segment, Restaurant Reality, where we go in-depth about the tough topics no one wants to discuss. We provide our listeners with first-hand accounts on buying and selling a restaurant and everything in between. You are listening to Eric and Robin Gagnon. We are the Restaurant Brokers.